What is going on, everyone? It is Regis here again with Cam Cassidy. This time Nolan's here as well. We're going to be talking about how to properly manage a project like this. If you haven't already seen it, go check out my last video I made with Cam where we literally walked through this huge property, talked about how he's going to be making. We're going to talk about how Cam was able to find contractors, manage a project like this, go through the whole planning process, and how to do it properly and not completely screw up and mess up as an investor. So Cam, to start off, I guess, how many people do you have working on this property? How many contractors, electricians, or how many people do you have?
Yeah, so there's myself and my wife. My wife is helping me with the design aspect of it, right? So picking flooring, colors, countertops, just doing research, right? There's a lot of options that you'll have when you have a house or a project this big. So for me, I'm lucky to have someone who is good at that stuff and who has a background in that.
You have to have an ability for that stuff.
Like interior design.
Yeah, that's it. I don't. I'm not very good at that. So to me, if I'm not good at something, you need to have someone on your team that can take care of that. So, I mean, there's so many working parts right from the start, from even your purchasing to your lawyer to your broker to private lenders to everything to make things work. Once you get the project, then ultimately will fall on me to make the final decisions and make sure that I like everything, and I can never truly pass it off to somebody. I know we were just talking about the kitchen layout and how many options that we went through. And we must have come here 3 or 4 times where we would tape out the kitchen with an island and then a peninsula here and then moving this here and we draw it up. But when you draw it up and then you come into the house, things change. Like even this exposed brick, this is the old chimney that was there. So we're like, do we keep the exposed brick? How do the cabinets fit there? Do we do floating shelves? As I said in the last video there, we ended up blocking off this door and we're going to wrap the kitchen. That's what we're at right now. That may change even then. It's changed a few times, but you need a couple contractors, you need kitchen experts, you need designers. Ultimately, you, the investor, or you, the person who owns it, has to make the final decision and really make sure that it works and think about it. A lot of contractors they have 4 or 5 jobs going on at one time. They're not always like sitting there humming and hawing over the absolute best option for you. They will do. If you say I want this done, they'll do that for you. So even if it's not what they would do. So a good question I always like to ask the contractors is like, if this was your place, what would you do? They're see this day in and day out, and then a lot of times they go, well, I would actually do it this way, and you go, oh, cool. Like I wouldn't have I wasn't thinking that, but thanks for that. And sometimes they don't have an idea. They haven't thought about it enough. You're the one who owns the property. You're going to be up at night thinking about it, drawing it, and coming in and and thinking about what you can do to make it possible. And there's lots of little decisions like that. So the more people around you that help you make those decisions, the better. Even other investors, I brought other investors in here. Even you guys coming in, it's nice to get feedback and say, I like this, I don't like this, or what are you going to do here? It all helps me ultimately make better decisions that you can actually make the most amount of money.
100%. So when it comes to choosing contractors, because I know a lot of people are like, where do I go for the best contractor, blah blah, how do you do this? How important do you think it is to really build a connection and a relationship with your contractors? Because hey, like there will be some contractors that know how to flip a property, and there will be some contractors that just know how to get the property as beautiful as possible. They do cheap work or whatever. How important do you think it is to go about, and how do you really build that relationship, do you think?
Yeah, and it's tough because as an investor, you're ultimately trying to get it for not as cheap as possible, but you want value when you're hiring someone, right? So you want to build a relationship with them, but you have to be friendly, you have to trust them, but you also have to be firm with them to make sure that they're getting things done for you and on time and on budget. But like anything, it's a relationship business. You need to make sure that you have the right connections, and there's lots of contractors out there. I don't know why people worry about that so much. Just because you're your brother or you don't know someone directly who is a contractor doesn't mean there's not someone who can do this for you.
Exactly.
the power of online nowadays. You can just go
Yeah.
check reviews, right? Follow
Yeah.
up with that stuff.
Easily throw something out on Instagram to
Social
say,
media,
hey,
right?
you know,
Yeah.
looking for this, and you'll have 5 or
Especially
6
Instagram,
messages.
which by the way, Instagram course, link in bio, 50% off if you get it right now.
Yeah, so I mean, it ultimately is up to you to find those people, but you still want to know what you're doing. You still want to get education
Oh yeah,
and still
definitely.
feel comfortable. And I mean, you're gonna make mistakes, you know.
Yeah.
But when you have a good enough margin, when you buy right, that is important, right? I have profit built into it. The profit that I made was built on the purchase. Now it's just following the plan and the process.
Yeah.
That may go up or down slightly based off of decisions that we make or unexpected, you know, things that happen or expenses
Yeah.
or things. So I
Yeah.
mean, that's all part of it. You have to fully expect that, but
You still got the plan in place, right? So
Yeah.
The way
Yeah,
I
they
think
did.
sorry to cut you off. The way I think I look at it is like, as an investor, you're like the coach of a team, and every player is like a contractor, you know, your realtor, whatever. And if you play sports, you know that no matter what your coach tells you, you'll always think of something different, and then you'll eventually tell your coach, or you'll just do it, and you'll get something back out of it. So I think it's like, you need to make sure that everyone that works for you or is helping you out, you guys have like the same end goal, but they'll always have their twist or their idea,
Yeah.
which is something that you mentioned.
And this plays into like literally what I was gonna ask you. So system wise, like how do you contact with everyone because it's such a big group? How do you manage like time and expenses, I guess, in that sense,
Yeah.
as well as kind of crap. Literally, I forgot what the other question was.
No.
But I guess those two first.
yeah,
questions,
yeah, like your GC or your general contractor is going to be your main touch point, right? Like for
Yeah.
me, right now it's me, my GC, and my wife who's helping with the designs and the plans.
Okay.
So they're the 3 people that are in most contact, and then I'm trusting my GC to bring in, you know, electricians, plumbers, and,
Okay.
and keep that moving along. So.
Okay.
You know, some people want to be the general themselves. I'm not the general contractor on this
Okay.
project,
Okay.
but I still am a big part of making the decisions,
Yeah.
right? Once all the decisions have been made, as far as like, here's what's going to happen for, you know, design wise, I like everything the designer has set up for me. I like the layout. Again, my GC has to be in the loop as to,
Has to
you know,
know
how
what's
the kitchen's
happening.
going to look,
So-
how many
Yeah.
bathrooms, what, you know, what are we doing with those stained glass windows? What are we,
Oh, yeah.
you know, so he is going to keep in the loop with me and touch base with me as far as that kind of stuff, and then I'm
Okay.
trusting him to execute.
So definitely a lot of trust has to be put in with within the general contractor.
Yeah,
right?
and that's why for me, I'm still connected. Like I'm still
Okay.
coming to the property. I'm still touching base
yeah,
with them.
that's
Still
another
making
big-
sure,
big point.
but I only have one point of contact. Really, is my GC.
Okay.
Right.
And
If-
he
if-
manages
if-
the rest, like the electrician.
Yeah,
and all that
exactly.
stuff.
He's
Yeah.
he's you know, hiring people to do this and that, and keeping the flow going, and you know, even his sub trades. There's lots of people that, you know, have issues or don't show
Yeah,
up, or
for sure.
you know,
Yeah.
there's problems. So I mean, that's on him. That's what his role is. That's what he's getting paid to do. So yeah, you just kind of have to trust that and hope that, you know, he's executing.
Okay. And I actually remember the other question I was gonna ask. How long did it take for you to kind of, I guess, think of how to really execute and fully go about this to feel comfortable? If that question makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're ever really comfortable. I don't.
Yeah,
think you're
yeah.
ever- you know, you just got to do it. You
Yeah.
know, you just got to take action, and you know, you're always going to be scared. You
Yeah.
know, even me doing this, and you know, even helping clients do this, it's never really, you know, it's never a sure thing. There's always unexpected. You know, until maybe, I'm sure even investors that have flipped 100 properties would tell you there's fears and things that can happen, but
Of course.
I just know in the back of my mind that everything's fixable.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That,
exactly.
you know,
That's
to me, the purchase was, you know, the scariest. Once you've purchased, from there, it's just about
You
moving
have
along.
to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to do it, and you have to go, and you have to play it out and see how it turns out.
that actually
You know.
goes literally right back again to your statement about the open mindset and always just
Yeah.
staying open with that, right?
Yeah.
So-
Take him a
100%.
shot. So it's
Oh,
about.
okay.
So, Cam, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are still gonna have questions. Where's the best way for them to contact you? And, you know, can they hit you up and get help? How do they go about that?
No, absolutely. My website's camcassidy.com, Cam Cassidy on Instagram, Cameron Cassidy on Cameron Cassidy Real Estate is my Facebook page. Any 3 of those,
Yeah.
good options to reach out to me. And if you want to see more content, I have tons of videos and pictures up on there.
Yep.
My website has sign-ups for my workshops and my investor email if they're interested.
Exactly. And guys, I think that's pretty much it for the contractor part. We're going to be still filming a lot more content with Cam. If you've been enjoying it, leave a like down below, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never ever miss a video. And until then, I'll see you guys next time.